All right, guys, and joining us right now is, and I will never get tired of saying this, I've got to say it so many times this year, it is World Series champion outfielder for the Texas Rangers, Travis Jankowski. Travis, what's going on, bud?
That sounds good. We got to keep saying that. That sounds good.
That's what we want to keep saying.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And, you know, I covered the team since 2008, so I was there in 10 and 11, and 11 was painful. But to experience the win, I'm not sure I ever thought I would. I don't know if you ever thought you would, but what has it been like? What's the ride been like for you the last 4 months now?
Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it's everyone was asking me what was the World Series like. You know, everybody wants to know, and I think they were expecting me to say fun. And I was like, the parade was fun. You know, like when you're playing those games, you know, when you know that you win one game, you got to win 3 more. You win 2 games, 2 more. It's like, it's fun. You know, it's enjoyable to be around the guys, but it's intense. You know, maybe a little stressful. But I was just trying to enjoy it as much as I could. You know, it's been a long time coming. Something I definitely don't take for granted, knowing how hard it is to get there. So it was. I tried to enjoy it as much as I could.
Yeah, I mean, it's stressful for us because deadlines and everything. You have different stories going, and you want to be first, and all this stuff. So we're watching the games, and obviously we want the best outcome because we get close to you guys. We're supposed to be impartial, but we can be
a Ranger fan.
We can be impartial. We can be impartial in our writing, but I mean, we all want to write happy stories. So we were all leaning toward the Rangers and hoping it went well. I can't imagine what's it like in a game. Are you so focused in a game that you don't worry about the nerves? Do you feel like, oh crap, they've got 2 on with 1 out in the 9th and it's a 1-run game? Do you feel that stuff?
So that's kind of the crazy part for me is I expected, getting thrown into it in Game 4. I was totally expecting to be nervous in the batter's box, but there was such a peace about it, and a lot of that it comes from talking with my teammates before the games. Those guys, they gave me so much confidence before the game. I had no choice but to believe in myself. In the outfield, I was like, boy, I can't drop a fly ball. That's going to be a not top 10 for a long time. So I was a little nervous in the outfield, but no, like it was so crazy to me how how much peace I had and like confidence I had just from my teammates telling me, hey, like you deserve this opportunity. Like you've been grinding, you've been doing your work, you're ready for this. So a lot of that is just my teammates feeding into me, making me feel good about myself and going out and producing.
Well, and that's the thing. Guys who don't play every day, they still prepare too. They still prepare like they're going to play, and it's an indication of how professional guys are when they're able to step in and not be phased. So you come in, you get your 2 hits right off the bat. You guys win the game. I think you made the nice catch where you and Marcus almost killed each other. And then after the game, you're up 3-1. All the media's around Travis Jankowski's locker. I thought that was pretty cool. It was just had to be I don't know, once in a lifetime. Hope it's not once in a lifetime, but a pretty cool event.
It was awesome. Yeah, totally not deserving of all that media presence. You look at the numbers from everyone else in that game. Good catch, couple hits. It was exciting for me to be able to talk to the media, but again, not deserving. Marcus had 5 RBIs that game.
He did.
He's the one who needed to handle the media that day.
Corey might have hit a home run.
I'm sure he did. He did that
a lot. Okay, so you're on the field for the final out. What is it? I mean, that inning went so quick. The first 2 batters went so quick. We're like, holy crap! There's 2 outs. And so, what do you do? Do you beeline? Do you look at Leote? Did you turn around and look at the bullpen? Do you remember?
I was beelining. I wanted to be in that mosh pit. I wanted to be in that pile as quick as possible. So running in, the glove went, launched. It might have hit the ceiling. Glove was in the air, and I was trying to get to the middle of that pile to celebrate with those guys. That was I got chills talking about it. That was a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, well, it was cool, and I'm sure Rangers fans never thought it would occur. I don't know about John, what was your first game, 75?
1974.
74.
I went as a 7-year-old. And the old crappy stadium, I can't even make it. I used to be able to drink beer when Nolan Ryan was throwing. I mean, I was old enough to drink beer. That's how long it's been for me. And Nolan threw the 7th no-hitter. I was at that game, sitting in the outfield, and I had a few too many, actually, to do. I wasn't planning on being there a couple innings and heading home, but I was like, we ended up staying. But so it's a long time coming. And like we had Colby Lewis on and a couple of guys from the 10 and 11 team. We told them, as Ranger fans, that they raised the expectation of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We thought, okay, this team can win a championship.
Yeah.
You guys just knocked it out of the park, and I was at home. I tell everybody, you'll love this, but so I was credentialed to go to all of it, but he was going to be at every one he writes, so I would make sure he was at every one. I thought about going out to Arizona for the last two, but I was like, no, I'm just going to stay here, and if y'all would have come home, like when we did Baltimore, I was in the clubhouse and got drenched. You guys were in there drenching everybody. And I wanted so bad, I thought that would be so cool. But I called him the night of Game 5, and I texted him. I said, look, I said, for me, it's been too long. It would be great to be there for the celebration, but you guys need to finish this off tonight, and I'll just enjoy the parade.
Yeah.
If you would have been out there and jinxed us, you wouldn't have been here.
Absolutely.
You would not have been here.
No, I was like, no, I put all my pride aside, and I said, look, I would rather just get over with tonight. You guys celebrate, get some good video, because I'll be at the parade and enjoy it.
Well, everybody in the media for Game 5 was definitely rooting for the Rangers because the national guys did not want to go back to Arlington.
Yeah.
Just get it. That's it. Let's end the season tonight. So there was a lot of Ranger fans in that ballpark that you probably didn't know. But
Yeah.
so you want to do it again. That's why you came back. I thought it was refreshing to hear after you signed your deal right there at FanFest. You said you had other opportunities that might have paid you a little bit more, but they weren't this. So it's refreshing. But how bad do you want to win? I mean, that's what everybody plays for, I'm guessing.
So that is something that until you go through that, until you make a postseason run, win the World Series, you don't know the adrenaline rush you get. That's something that is. I don't think anything will compare to it. It's addicting. It's fun. And to do it with that group of guys in that clubhouse, it was a no-brainer for me. Financially, yeah, there's some money left out on the table, but for me, it's one of those things that you can't put a price on that culture in that clubhouse. That team chemistry, and you look at the major leagues. Everyone's good. Every team is good. So when you get to the playoffs, these are the best of the best. So what are you guys going to have that separates you from the other? 10 other teams that are elite at this game.
Yeah.
And for me, it's that chemistry. We enjoy being around each other. We have, very talented players, but high character human beings as well. So to me, it's one of those things that, you can't put a price on that. I know I'm coming in this clubhouse and I'm having fun every single day, playing for Bruce Bochy, Hall of Fame managers on that list as well. That's one of those things that's not something I take for granted. Boch is, like I said, a future Hall of Famer, and there's kids who would, give their life to go and play for Bruce Bochy for a year, and I wanted to run it back and do it for at least 2. So, and hopefully more after that.
You talk about the culture, and I'm going to write a story on this. It was a great year on the field, but you were one of the players, the thousands of players on the team who had a baby, and it just seems like you guys are humans. You're not just robots who go out and play baseball every day. It just seems like it's not going to get any better ever. That's going to be the best year ever for you guys because you won the championship, but you added to your family in your case. Some guys started families. It just seemed like every other week somebody was having a baby.
Yep. There's something in the water, right? But no, I think that's what's so cool is like you said, we are humans, and in this organization we get treated as such. We're not a stat line. We're not an analytical, computer type in, this is the type of player you are. No, we're human beings. And being treated like a human being, you come in and you appreciate that, because it's not like that everywhere else in this game. Boch sees us as that, CY sees us as that, and we get to go out and we get to be ourselves and the best version of ourselves.
Did your kids do the trick-or-treating? Marcus talked about it in that All Access show.
They did.
It seems like that. Did. I mean, it was Game 4.
Yep.
It was October 31st. Game 4 is October 31st. You guys the series is still in the balance, and yet here you guys are at the hotel. They're doing trick-or-treating for the kids.
What, through the halls or something, going to every door? What were y'all doing?
It was a little private room. They had some face painters. They had vendors out with candies.
Awesome.
It was, and to me, like that is such a next level intelligence move because we could be sitting in there with our families thinking about, we got Game 4 tonight. We got Game 4, and we're thinking about it from 9 o'clock when we wake up until 5 o'clock when the first pitch is thrown. Or you can say, hey, go out, have fun with your family. Trick or treat with the kids. All the kids were dressed up. I had Spider-Man, Falcon, and Bingo from Bluey who were going around getting treats, and I'm like, this is what it's about, Championships are great, don't get me wrong. That was an incredible year. Playing baseball is awesome, but we're guys, we have families, we have kids, we care about them more so than a championship. And to be able to go out and experience that and a memory that we'll, remember forever with our family, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and and if they're being taken care of, that takes a burden off of you. I think people can talk about Chris Young and the fact that he's a former player, I think, is really not discussed enough. At a time when it's John Daniels is a friend of the show. He's one of my friends, but he got his degree in economics from Cornell and didn't really play. And while he did a good job and helped bring in the family culture with Chris, for him to I haven't asked him in 2015 when you're going to the World Series with the Royals, 14-2, I guess, or was it just 15? But what is that like? Did he learn a lesson of how he wanted these players to be treated? So it's a cool story. I think it's really cool that they took care of you guys, but also that Heaney had twins who were preemies, and Marcus Semien had the whole playoffs until the ALCS was worried about when his daughter was going to be born, and then you went from Oakland to Pennsylvania and back. I mean, it just
Dunning, Spores,
all kinds of guys. Tavares didn't get to see his daughter born because they were in the Dominican, and I don't think he saw her for like 6 weeks.
Right,
he was FaceTiming or something like that. I guess.
Just crazy.
And that too
stuff,
is like that. That to me, what Leo did, that tugs at your heart. You want to go see that baby, but he's putting the team, in a bigger spot, because he doesn't know, okay, how long am I going to be there? When am I going to get back? The team needs me. That's an ultimate teammate right there. You're going to sacrifice seeing the birth of a child over, missing some games. That to me is like hats off to Leo for that.
That's just his third. All right, I'm not going to let you go. I asked all the baseball questions. I'm not going to let you go without asking about Wyatt Langford.
Oh.
So, Wyatt Langford.
We're going to be here a while. You don't even have to ask a question. The kid is talented. He has all the talent in the world. I would kill to have the talent he has at his age. But, the thing that surprised me the most about Wyatt this whole spring is his mental approach, and I think you guys saw it last year with Evan, how good of a, mentality he had to be thrown into a playoff push in September and go out and do what he did. I think Wyatt's on that same level, just to see how he's handling it, 22 years old, first spring training ever.
Yeah.
Being in big league camp. I was in the big leagues before big league camp. I didn't have a big league camp.
Okay.
I was thrown into the fire without that experience. And I know I didn't handle myself in the big leagues like he's handling himself right now. And it's incredible, how he doesn't struggle, or he doesn't let his struggles, which he has had some 0 for games, he doesn't let him ride into the next day. He's way above and beyond the mentality he should be at his level, and he's going to be exciting to watch.
All right.
Seems like a good guy in the clubhouse, too.
Yeah.
Awesome guy.
22, just got married.
Yeah.
Seems like he fits the culture.
Real nice kid. We had him on last year after he got drafted. He was really, really nice kid.
Level-headed, yes. Very, very down-to-earth, good kid.
Well, and I'm telling you right now, so I was the guy this whole offseason before you signed. I was like, they're bringing back Jankowski, right? They're going to bring him back. I was lobbying because, look, I get asked by more people, being media and being able to access to you guys, what's it like? I said, these guys are amazing in this clubhouse. I said, look, I don't know. I'm not a reporter that went out all over and worked in other markets. I don't know, but I can tell you when you walk in, even if it's a bad game, they're at least cordial. They do that. They get along. They're playing games in there. They're having fun. But Travis and I really hit it off.
Yeah.
And what hit it off, and my wife loves him because we really considered adoption when we were younger. We're too old for that now. They won't let you. And we really came close to doing it. And he told me that they had adopted a little boy. Well, that just, to me, look, I'm at the age now where my next step is grandfather. I mean, I got a 26-year-old daughter. And so I'm like, so to me, I'm watching all these kids born, and I'm thinking grandpa things, and watching them. And then after the Baltimore series, all the kids are running around the field, and they're trying to wrangle everyone to get a picture. And I went to his wife. I said, give me the phone. I'll get the picture. Because they were running everywhere, and I'm taking photos. So I was lobbying, and I was like, they got to bring Jankowski back. But I was worried. I said, the way he played, though. Yeah, he might get a deal somewhere.
He might get an offer somewhere else.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. So I'm so happy to see you back.
I'm thrilled to be back. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
It's so much fun. Okay, couple of quick questions before we get you out of here, because listen, these guys, y'all, you can't understand. Take time to sit down and talk to us. I mean, he's about to go home. He just told me he's about to go get in the pool with the kids.
Nice.
He's got his day off. He said, I mean, that's fantastic. I'd love to do that. So, we talked last time about you growing up, playing ball. You played football in high school. You grew up in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to ask some other questions that we go on this time. So what was your favorite MLB team when you were growing up?
I had two. So the Yankees. That was, Northeast. The Yankees were the team when I was growing up. Jeter, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill. I loved watching those guys. And then, believe it or not, I kind of became a front runner with Philly when I was like 16, and they were making their World Series runs.
Yeah.
Watching Chase Utley play, watching Jason Worth, watching Jimmy Rollins. Those guys I was locked into the TV every single night, just watching them play. And to me, like, you got, Derek Jeter, who I watched my whole career,
Right.
Awesome player, but how he handles media, the type of person he is unbelievable off the field. That's someone who I would love to emulate throughout my career, just being a good human being. And then you look at the way Chase Utley played the game, man. Always dirty, just, he was made to play in Philly, that grinder mentality.
Oh, he was good. And I loved watching him play, too. He's younger than me. So
the Rangers equivalent, and this isn't an exaggeration, as far as being respected by players like Jeter was Michael Young.
Yep.
And, Michael Young was a pro. He played, posted every day, got dirty, big hits, played hurt. Did I say that yet?
Yeah.
Huge in the community, was a Marvin Miller Man of the Year award winner. He was just a respected guy. And so he's kind of the standard bearer, I think, as far as Rangers and Rangers history. They have obviously a lot of great guys, but they're not, Jeter's in the Hall of Fame, had the 3,000 hits. Michael had a very nice career, but among players, Michael Young was in that conversation about just guys who are professionals.
100%, and you can see it, right? Like you said, posting every day, going out, playing hard every day, playing through some injuries, like that earns respect, and that's the mark of a true professional.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got to the big leagues, we already talked about you get called up or whatever. We talked about that last time. Who was the guy that when you played against him, or maybe he was on your team, he was the made you Chris Farley? I mean, you were like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm on the field with this guy. Maybe you got to meet him. Who was the guy that really got you tongue twisted or whatever?
It was Utley. It was Chase Utley. Yeah, when he was in L.A. So debuted in 15, and Chase is at second base. And we played the Dodgers probably 3 series. I got called up in August, played them probably 3 times throughout the rest of the season that year. And I don't know, I probably hit some cheap hit, get on base, and I get to second base, and Chase comes up to me, and he doesn't talk much, telling players in the game that he said this. They're like, he said that? I was like, yeah. He said, hey, nice swing. And I'm like, thanks, Chase. thank you, Mr. Utley. Totally just kind of like balled off. But that to me was like oh my gosh, dude, that is Chase Utley. I watched him growing up. That is the man, and he just said nice swing on probably a horrible swing. Like, thanks, Chase. I appreciate that, man.
That's cool.
That's got to be cool. That's got to be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite baseball movie?
Oh, man.
There's some good ones, but
I got my kids on The Sandlot.
That's great. They played it here last night.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yes. They had it on
they can't watch this episode then. They're not listening to this podcast. They're going to be mad.
They did not play it here last night.
Got canceled because of the rain.
That's right. It rained it out.
But no, they love The Sandlot. We have like a little dirt patch out here in Arizona in our yard, and we play Sandlot all the time. So
They honestly might have rained it out. I don't know if it got played.
That's true, because it started raining when we went out to dinner, and they were playing it to get it warmed up to go. So who knows? Hey, guys, it was rained out. Okay? So just let you know, don't worry about it. Your dad planned on bringing you. He ain't got rained out. He already knew. Okay, so if you were hosting a dinner party, cooking in the backyard, what 3 players, whether they're former players, current players, whatever, who are you inviting over just so you can have some, ribs, brisket, and a couple beers? Who do you want to sit down and talk to?
Jeter, for sure. Jeter's on that list. Holy smokes. I got to be honest. I didn't get to play against Beltre, but he seems like an awesome guy. Getting to talk with him a little bit in the clubhouse when he's in.
That.
So Beltre's coming. He seems like a fun guy. And this one was a teammate in San Diego, a guy who really taught me the culture of being a good teammate, Eric Hosmer. This guy, I mean,
just retired.
Yes, awesome human being, awesome teammate. Came from World Series caliber teams in Kansas City to a rebuild in San Diego, and handled himself like a true pro. So Haas is definitely on that list.
That's a pretty good treat.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I get to do this every day when I get to meet all these guys in the clubhouse and do that. So my barbecue's right there. But this is great. I mean, as a player, I always wanted to know, who are you guys, man, if you could have them over to do that. Because if someone asked me, what 3 players would you have over? Well, I'd have over Jankowski because we already get along. He'd bring all the kids over and get in my pool, and we'd have a blast, you know.
Be grandpa for a day.
Yeah, be grandpa for, my wife and I would take them in a heartbeat. But honestly, you try to think back to all the great players, and, not just Rangers. I mean, guys that I watched growing up, Bucky Dent and people like that played. But you got anything else?
No.
Let's get out of here, man. This was great, and we're going to try to do it again during the season as it's going along. Great signing by the Rangers to get you back. I say this, you and I talk about it all the time. There's guys that play on every team. There's always a guy on that bench or the end of that bench. But when you look at other teams that have that guy, none of them are as talented as Jankowski. This is a guy that you can have in your lineup a few days a week, and he's going to get in games late in games, and he's a great pinch hitter and all of that. And if someone goes down, it doesn't fall off to have somebody come in, especially you proved it in the World Series, which, my team won the World Series last year. So I'm still riding on that one, dude. So right. you did that for me, so it was great.
Well,
nothing else?
You guys.
Yeah, no, nothing else. Just let's do it again.
Yeah. It was too much fun not to do again.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, that's Travis Jankowski. He is a world champion, World Series champion, Texas Rangers.